Alrighty, boys. So on Thursday, we are getting a title update, which means a patch, fellas, and a much needed patch in my opinion. There are many things wrong with this game. This is going to be my first time looking at the patch notes that they are planning on fixing. Now, I will say I do enjoy my time playing this game most of the time, but there are many issues and people take advantage of that, and that's when I find myself getting extremely frustrated. So, fellas, with that being said, again, this is my first time looking at it. I'm going to give you my opinions on it, and we're only going to hope that they execute flawlessly on this patch. So with that being said, though, boys, let's get into the notes. Okie dokie, fellas, so here it is. They say, hey, Madden fans, welcome back to the Gridiron Notes. Our next title update for Madden NFL 26 is arriving tomorrow, so it's actually coming tomorrow, not Thursday, and it's packed with gameplay fixes, tuning, and updates across every mode. From new coaching adjustments that give you more control over pass protection and coverage depth to key improvements in various modes, including new likeness, gear, and equipment options. Let's dive in. Yes, let's. Okay, here we go. Gameplay, pass blocking. Added new coaching adjustment option allowing you to set your default pass protection scheme. Choose from base, empty, half left, half right, full right, or default. Okay, kind of a W, sort of a W, especially if somebody's just going to run the same defense over and over and over and over. You don't have to make adjustments. You can start quick snapping them if you need to. That's kind of a W, kind of a W. Dev note, for players who don't want built-in pass protections on passing plays, we have included a new coaching adjustment to allow players to choose the default protection for all drop-back passing plays. When toggling this option in, players will still have the ability to change their protection before the play via the pass protection adjustment menus. Okay, cool. Fixed an issue sometimes causing the pass protection adjustment menu to get stuck in an open state after selecting a protection adjustment. Okay, also a W. I've experienced this many times. I need to hike the ball quick. I have to make a blocking adjustment, and then all of a sudden I have to click out of it and then snap the ball. Now, it wasn't a major issue, no, but it was an issue. Just a little, quality of life insurance there, right? A little bit quality of life insurance. Made improvements to blocking logic for better targeting and improved protection on shotgun play action plays. Now, I didn't really have an issue with play action, right? Play action is usually like the end-all be-all solution. If you can't figure out something that you can't block, you usually just do play action and everything gets picked up pretty well. So don't know what they're going to do. And here's the thing, fellas. I've heard this over many updates. Improvements to blocking logic, improvements to anything, and especially when it comes to logic, they usually lie to us. I'm going to be 100% honest. It's usually not true. Usually the logic doesn't change, but we'll see. Again, right? I have faith in them. All right, next one. Tuning done to shorten the wait time after failed pass rush moves to improve pocket degradation over time. So that means the pocket's going to degrade faster, right? That's what it sounds like to me, is that there's going to be better pass rush. You're going to be able to do more possible swim moves, bull rushes, all those kinds of good things. Now, I will say the 2-man and 3-man rush is insane. So if that improves that even more, that might be a slight L. Now, I will say we do need the pass rush to get home when we don't send anything, okay? If people want to make a mistake, right, say you're sending the Texas 4-man, they adjust to that, and then you don't run the Texas 4-man, yes, they should have to pay. They should have to pay for that, right? Defense is tough. All right, so enhanced QB contain logic to ensure defenders contain more effectively. Massive W here, okay? Contains did not work. They did not work. And in fact, it'd be a little bit random. Occasionally they would work for some reason. Now, this right here, dev note, this was a 2-part fix where disengages from blocks in pursuit of the quarterback scrambling outside of the pocket. For the second part, we resolved an issue where defenders would incorrectly abandon their contain assignment in favor of executing a pass rush move. So, 2 things I see here, all right? Contains, fixed, right? They will contain now. It's what it sounds like. But you are not going to get a pass rush from those guys anymore. More than likely, the fix is, because this is how it was in years past, if you contain, you will not perform any pass rush moves on those outside contains, and you're not going to get any pressure with that. So essentially, if you're sending 4, you have 2 guys containing, you're going to have a 2-man rush. Those guys are just not going to let anything outside of the pocket, which is a W, because when you're playing somebody that all they want to do is get outside of the pocket, it's hard to stop. It was hard to stop. Now, at least you'll be able to stop that. You'll keep them in the pocket. If you have a defense where you feel like you can contain everything in front of you, keep everything in front of you, nothing deep downfield, you want them to stay in the pocket, this is going to help you. Addressed an issue with pass rush move selection logic to reduce excessive use of rip moves and ensure more realistic, ratings-driven defender behavior. Again, a W, right? An absolute W, okay? If you have a guy that has like 88 finesse move, you don't want him using a bull rush move, right? So that's a W. They're going to actually utilize what they are good at. W in my book, improving the defense. Run game. Now we're moving on. Run game, fellas. Fixed an issue allowing a short artificial speed boost to the ball carrier when using truck in open space. W, right? There was again, getting outside the pocket. Say you did get your contain to work. Quarterback air truck, they get a speed boost. They're outside of the pocket. W fix right here, if they do actually fix it. Dev note, the truck animation and transition from truck to locomotion have been modified more accurately reflect the movement speed of the ball carrier as the truck ends, and the transition has been tuned to keep speed more consistent. W. Fixed an issue causing duo run plays to be mislabeled as inside zone plays. Not a big deal. Decrease the frequency of power non-engaged sheds on run plays. Now, this one here is a little confusing. Decreased the frequency of power non-engaged sheds on run plays. Not even sure exactly what they're saying here. Now, this could just be me being a Dumbo and I don't understand what they're saying. But to me, this just kind of sounds like that they're going to enhance the run game. So, decrease the frequency of power non-engaged shed on run plays. Not even sure what that really is. Sounds like it's going to enhance running a little bit. Added shed timers for defenders who lost their previous defensive move on passing plays. Okay, so the run game sounds like it's going to get even better. Added shed timers for defenders who lost their previous defensive move on passing plays. Okay, so yeah, running sounds like it's getting better. Edge defenders now steer towards the outside gap for longer to help set the edge on run plays. Okay, now this could be a good or a bad thing, right? Outside runs were they were the best, right? They were the best run plays. If you could get outside, get some space, you're gonna get going. Okay. Now, if they set the edge a little bit better, I would assume there's going to be more gaps. But if the sheds are good, we'll have to see how this plays, but it just sounds like a little bit more realistic where you're going to actually try and set the edge, force them to cut into a hole inside, and then potentially go into a linebacker or go into a defensive tackle or something. Now the big one, boys. The big one, passing game. Increased the minimum for stemmed down routes from 1 yard to 3 yards. Okay, that's cool. Now, if you guys don't know, shallow corner routes, right? Stemmed down corner routes. This is kind of a W. Now, it does make the offense a little bit worse. We'll have to see if they still run the routes insane at 3 yards. Now, I will say I did use short corners, right? I stemmed them all the way down. But before I really knew that all the way stemmed down corners, I was running 3 yards pretty much, right? I would stem them down just a little bit instead of bringing it all the way down. And I will say they still ran really good routes. So this might not be that big of a factor, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see actual gameplay and how people adjust to it. Dev note, when using the route stemming feature, certain stemmed down routes, particularly corner routes, became too powerful and difficult to fairly or realistically defend. As a result, the minimum stem depth allowed now is 3 yards. The intent of this change is to preserve the structure of timing of the route while enabling more realistic and balanced defensive reactions. W, right? That corner routes were tough to defend, but with that being said, they weren't impossible, okay? You had to switch stick around. So we'll see how this affects it. Now, this, to me personally, just kind of feels like it's making it a little bit easier for the casuals to defend. Now, it's okay, right? We kind of do need that somewhat and not making them so OP, because if you're running 2 stem down corners on the outside, and depending on what kind of defense you're running, you can't switch stick both of them, right? So this does help somewhat. And resolved an issue where auto motion receivers will continue their motion during the quiet the crowd animation. Users can no longer quiet the crowd during the W, massive W, right? Like, we've been running a new defense on that nickel wide. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We show you guys how to run that. That was the only way I was getting beat, right? People using that glitch, okay? That was the only way I could get beat, because I'm rocking some man. You have to switch it up a little bit, throw some zones out there, but it doesn't even matter, right? That glitch would allow them get to all the way to the sideline and run a streak right up the sideline, and nothing could guard it. You have to switch stick to it. So that is a W in my book. Fixed an issue preventing behind the line special moves working when using gadget players in the quarterback spot in wildcat formations. Okay. Don't care. Fixed an issue causing wide receivers to sometimes use fake out footwork off the snap with no defender nearby. Fixed an issue preventing the appropriate frequency of catch knockouts when throwing to a receiver covered by multiple defenders. Dev note, this is a W, okay? This is a massive W. This was the main issue leading to receivers holding on to aggressive catches too much in crowds when the ball should have been knocked out. With this update, outcomes on aggressive catch attempts now more accurately reflect the ratings of physical matchups of the players involved when there is collision at the catch point. Massive W, man. It was insane how many times I can triple coverage, double coverage. I don't even care if it's single coverage. If I hit you when the ball, you're in the air like this and I hit you, it should be a drop. I don't care who you are, unless you right now have 99 catching traffic and you're 6'5", okay? And I have a 5'8" receiver or cornerback out there. There needs to be knockouts. So we'll have to see how that plays. Again, so far it's sounding good. It's can they execute on this? Fixed an issue causing illegal man downfield penalties to trigger incorrectly on certain plays, action boot plays. Okay, so W, right? Like, I've had this happen to me. I don't run a lot of play action or anything like that, but I've had this happen to me in critical situations and for no reason. Okay, it just good, get it fixed. Now, I will say on RPOs, there should be more, okay? There should be more illegal man downfields because a lot of times at the very last second, they're pulling it, okay? They're pulling it to throw. There should be some penalty. There should be a time frame, a window where you have to make that decision. Fixed an issue causing no-look passing animations to sometimes trigger on quick throws like bubble screens. Okay, so that's just like an actual look, right? That has nothing to affect the game because I didn't have any issues with that, and I don't run a lot of bubble screens. So now, pass coverage. This is also a big one. Added a new coaching adjustment setting to set the safety depth at 16 yards. Okay, cool. I mean, add more to the game. That's fine. Updated hook defender depth with underneath coverage adjustments to play at 5 yards of depth to be better positioned to play short routes like drags. W, okay? Drags are OP, right? Now, here's the thing, though. Will this work? Will this actually work? Now, the other issue is my hook curls will sometimes, like, I don't know what they've done, but my hook curls will play table routes from running backs. I don't want that, right? I have a flat route to defend that. I have a flat out there to defend that. My hook should not be biting down on that table route, okay? Let it play anything in its zone, okay? 5 yards, fine, cool. We'll see how this plays. Hopefully it plays better. Updated hook defender depth with over-the-top coverage adjustments to play at 12 to 18 yards of depth to put defenders in better position to take away deep intermediate routes like deep digs and over routes. Okay, another W. Hooks should be getting better, and hooks were terrible, right? I actually do run a lot of hooks, even though it's not good because they would play so many stupid things, do stupid things. Like they wouldn't play the streaks for a little bit and they'd start playing a table route. So we'll have to see how this actually works, but this is a W in my book. But again, I'm out there switch sticking around. As long as they can cover for a little bit, I switch stick to it. Awesome. Updated vertical hook zone logic so that it will not match when using coach adjustments or custom stem zones. Okay, this is also kind of a W, right? So now, again, when I was talking about hooks and verts, I would have to switch my hooks to verts so they wouldn't play that table route, but then they would match, okay? And then that zone gets opened up. So if you ran like a trips formation and you ran a slant, a double slant, they would match onto that first slant, and then that second slant gets wide open. So that's good. You don't want them to do that. Perfect. This is perfect. Updated press animation logic to ensure defenders trigger press animations requested by the user at the line of scrimmage. Okay, cool. Fixed an issue in goal line defense causing the receiver in heavy personnel formations to be completely uncovered. Also a W, right? Like this was happening, you know, because sometimes people audible out of things. You see somebody come out in a goal line formation, you come out in goal line defense, and then boom, all of a sudden they can spread out a running back or something and they're wide open. So pre-play controls, updated logic so the offense cannot instantly flip the play or audible to a new formation when walking to the line from the huddle. Okay, I mean, that wasn't a big issue. It's still just flipping, so we'll see if they get to that. Standardize the hot route times for quarterbacks when breaking the huddle. W. Now, all quarterbacks will have the same hot routes, right? You don't have to worry about some of the best quarterbacks in the game getting bad hot route animations. Everybody will have the same. Massive W. Dev note, the new timer applies to how long users need to wait after flipping a play or audibling to new formation. Stemming a route also counts as a hot route when breaking the huddle. Okay, also a W. Signature animations for players like Mahomes now have consistent responsiveness, resulting in all quarterbacks having the same hot route timing cadence. Awesome. This is what we've been asking now for 2 years, right? Last year, this was an issue. Awesome, they fixed this. Fixed an issue preventing under center quarterbacks from queuing more than 2 hot routes at a time. Good. I didn't know that was an issue. I don't run under center. Fixed an issue causing the tight end to motion awkwardly on a series of plays with gun Y off trips weak. Motion Y corner, RPO alert, motion dive. Okay, again, don't really run this. Don't run gun Y off trips too much. So don't know how big of an issue this was. Fixed an issue preventing the hot route stem controls from appearing when using mouse and keyboard. Okay, who gives a shit? Fixed hot route stem control not appearing when using keyboard. Did they not just say that twice? Tuning to improve avoidance by wide receivers in motion at the snap. Again, not sure. All right, AI and game logic. Tuning the Bills' home field advantage to reduce excessive kick meter wobble. Didn't know we still had home field advantages, to be honest with you. So now that we know that, okay, get that fixed. Tuning to improve AI-controlled teams clock management, preventing it from calling timeouts right before punting when losing by a large margin. W, right? This is horrible for verse CPU and stuff. If any of you play verse CPU, you know what I'm talking about. Fixed an issue sometimes causing a crash when setting quarterback throw styles. Okay, doesn't really matter. Now, I think what we're getting into is stuff that does not pertain to us gameplay wise, so we're gonna quickly just breeze through this. Fixed goal line defense causing receiver and heavy personnel to be completely uncovered. That was already read. Fixed a rare issue causing players on lines rosters to appear with generic player models and wearing the incorrect numbers and uniforms. Okay, yeah, so now we're just talking about visuals and stuff. If you want to read through this, be my guest, right? I'll put the link in the description if you want to check this out. There's stuff for franchise. Nothing else is really important. Superstar mode we don't care about. And then art, yeah, cool. Right, so, fellas, that's everything you need to know that's coming. It sounds like a W. We're going to head to the outro, and I'll give my final thoughts. Alrighty, boys, so there you have it. That's the update, right? We're going to be getting it tomorrow, which is a W. Now, I will say everything that I heard sounds good, okay? But I've been through this song and dance before, fellas. They tell us one thing, and it doesn't change, okay? Last year, I remember specifically during Zero Chill, they had a dev come on stream and say, we fixed it. No more aggressive catches. No more crazy catches, right? And no more drop picks. What do you know? Nothing changed. In fact, it felt worse. So, I don't know. I like, it sounds good. It all sounds good, but can they execute on it, right? My favorite thing they're fixing, there's a couple things, right? I'm glad contains will actually work now. Now, we'll have to see about that pocket degradation thing, right? 2-man, 3-mans were insane already. So now you're going to allow the degradation to be even better. I will agree, like, a 2-man and 3-man works almost as good, if not better sometimes, against 4-mans, right? So we'll have to see how that all goes. And then obviously the eggs, right? They fixed eggs. They said we'll have to see about that. I'm excited for the patch. Everything that I hear sounds great. They fixed some glitches. It sounds great. It sounds great. But fellas, I've been through this. They lie. Okay, I'll be honest with you. 100%. They do lie sometimes. Now, I have faith in them. I feel like when the game first came out, it played how they said it should play here. Now, minus the glitches. So fix the glitches. Just go back to the way the game played in the beginning of the year, I guess, right? Because, like, there wasn't really that big of an issue with eggs. They weren't crazy. Defenders were actually playing the ball well. So we'll have to see how it all goes. Again, it sounds fantastic. I'm happy. I want to see it. We're going to, when it comes out, right when that patch comes out, we'll be online. We'll be live. We'll be going through it, see if everything works. So with that being said, boys, if you found this video informational, you found it useful, please smash the like button. Subscribe down below. But that's all I got for you boys right now. Hope you guys have a blessed one. Peace.
For more awesome content, like and